Chosen ones, empaths, we've been left with a lot of darkness overshadowing us. We have. From these toxic individuals we've encountered in our life, whether it's in our family, a relationship, we encountered the dark side. And they more or less turned our light into darkness. They left us in darkness, right? They drained us of all our light and left us in darkness, okay? But there's something we have a gift of doing, empaths. We have a gift of turning that darkness they left us with back into light. And that is the healing journey. That is the journey we're on. We can transform this darkness into light. I promise you, we can. By us actually practicing self-love, taking time, focusing on ourselves, being selfish. We need to be selfish. We give our heart too easy to other people. I made a video on this channel the other day about be careful of what we let into our heart. We give our heart so freely, and we really want to build people up, you know. It's not people pleasing. It's just general good nature, right? A pure soul, innocent soul, right? When you were younger, did you used to get overly emotional? So if someone said something hurtful to you, your eyes would fill with water? Because that's what used to happen to me. And I didn't understand why it used to happen. I didn't want to cry. I didn't feel like crying. But when I was a child, someone would say something to me and my eyes would fill with water, right? And if I spoke, tears would come out. So I'd go silent. That was actually because I had a pure heart. And that's the same as us now. We have this pure heart in our adult life. And we put care, love into people only to be, shunned, devalued, right? And over the course of the time, it's left us with this dark cloud around us. This dark cloud that kind of is all around our exterior. Like the way we see out into the world is darkness. The way we feel is darkness. And everything is doom and gloom. And this is literally from encountering these toxic individuals. This is how we take on the energy of others. This is how these lot feel. This pain we're feeling, this darkness that we're feeling is actually how they feel. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Thank you. But this darkness that we feel, this is actually how they feel. It's why they project it onto us, right? But we can actually twist this now. If we focus on ourselves, we focus on the self-love journey, right? We heal, practicing healing, right? Using these spiritual glasses that we have and not letting dangerous, toxic personalities into our life in the future. Learning from our mistakes, seeing the gifts we've been bestowed and building on that, we'll actually be able to transform this darkness into light, and we're going to become stronger. This light will shine brighter. We'll become stronger, right? We've just got to get there. We've just got to get there, right? We've got to put in the work, it's therapeutic to go for walks. It releases endorphins, things like this. So if you find yourself stagnating at the moment, just go for a walk during the day. Promise you, when you get back, you'll feel lighter. And if you focus on doing walks every day, if you've got the time to, in between work, or if you're not working, or whatever your situation, if you can take a little walk, possibly if you can do, and it's in your means, walk in nature. I don't always get a chance to do it, but walking in nature releases these endorphins and the energy, and practicing self-love, Even just if there's a pond or a river, you know, being in this grounding in nature, right, will help you in your recovery. Take time. These ruminations that you have about these toxic individuals, the narcissist, etc., these ruminations will become like reflections, you know, and you'll be in beautiful scenery, right, on this walk, and you'll detox, you'll decompress, your mind works, and it works better, you know, when your body's moving, you're just walking. I'm not telling you to go off and do some major intensive exercise. If that's what you like to do, then do it. But I'm trying to say, at least try and take some time out to unwind, detox your mind, de-stress, practice this self-love, practice this healing, and enjoy it, right? Enjoy it. I'm not saying you need to take walks forever. I'm saying that while you're going through it, if you do have the time, take some walks, because this will be a powerful tool for you to transform this darkness into light, right? I heard of, I've heard of things that people kind of do, you know, if you're alone at the moment, take a time out of your day, sometime, if you've got the money, have a meal alone. It's empowering. It's actually empowering. I'm not saying go to the same place that you used to eat with the narcissist or the toxic individual. I'm not saying go to the same place so you've got memories of them. But I'm saying just treat yourself good. Go off and have something to eat somewhere, right? I've heard of stories of people doing this too, okay? And I remember in my healing journey, I think I briefly mentioned this before, when I was working abroad, shortly after the narcissist, I found myself eating out alone abroad in a foreign country. And it just had an atmosphere at night. And I smoked at the time. So after my meal, I'd have a cigarette and a coffee in the restaurant. And I'd sit there, and it was dark outside. And it had this ambience. And I just felt empowered. I just felt enriched again. And I know it's just a small thing, like going out and eating a meal, but it just changes your day. It just changes. And I know I'm mentioning small things. Trust me, I will say, and I should have probably mentioned it earlier on, it's inevitable that this darkness is going to transform into light, because you are a being of light. But I'm saying through the process that we have to go through in order to get there, we'll have our dips in the hill, you know, we'll have our dips. And it's through these dips, if we can decompress, we can keep busy doing things. I've mentioned in my other channel about how it's powerful to get involved in a craft, finding your purpose. This will transform the darkness into light too. I'm not just saying you're 9 to 5, but finding something else to use your time with. You'll find that because you're no longer putting your energy into the narcissist, you begin to transmute that energy into other areas of your life, and you manifest things into your life through the pain and through the suffering. I'm not 100% how this works, like it's a law, but you can see it. It's just so true. We're oppressed, we're beaten down, not physically, but we're beaten down spiritually, we're beaten down. Some people have been beaten down physically, but we've been knocked back, right? And it's through this setback, it's through this pain, it's through this suffering, it's through this darkness that we end up manifesting something beautiful in our lives. Only because we've got the gift of what we touch, we can turn to gold. Yeah, not physically turn to gold like value-wise, but what we put our stamp on has so much power. So I've mentioned before about subscribers that are singing, writing books, painting, doing things. You know, they're discovering talents they didn't know they actually have. And all of you have a variety of talents. And I'm telling you, while you're going through the dark days, it's hard to realize it. It's hard to realize it. You know? I'm not saying my be-all, end-all purpose is YouTube. But I never really thought that I'd do it I never even wanted to do it. And that's the thing, you'll align with something that you didn't really think you wanted to do. Your purpose will be unearthed, and you'll transform this darkness into light in an area that you didn't possibly even think was possible. You know what I mean, right? It's true, you didn't possibly think it was possible that you would actually do something that you fall into, right? Later on in life, after the narcissist, after the toxic individual. And this will actually enable you to turn this darkness into light in various areas of your life. Also your family life, your family life will be better. Your friendships can be better, possibly. Whatever you like to do with your time. But I find that a lot of empaths retreat into solitude. They retreat into alone time. And initially at the beginning, it's like a stagnation. It becomes like you're stagnating. But you're not in that state forever, the stagnating with the intense ruminations. You're not in that state forever, right? Talking of walks, like I mentioned earlier on, actually, very soon after the narcissist, I used to go for a walk every day, right? And I'd stop at the shop, and I'd keep going, and I'd just do like a circuit, right? Every day, night, different times of the day, and I'd always stop at the shop and get something. And I found myself doing this, not actually knowing, but this was actually my healing. This was very early on, very, very early on, pre-eating abroad and all of that. Very early on, this is what I found myself occupying my time doing. I remember meeting people, speaking to people, like doing things, I remember one day, no, because it's gonna come across. If I say this, it's gonna come across misunderstood. All right, no, I'll say it because. No, actually, I won't say it. It's gonna come across misunderstood. But what I'm saying is I went out. I went out and I encountered various individuals, and I more or less tried to help and assist them in the way I could. And I found myself doing things like that I would have never done with a narcissist. This was very early on in my journey. And I'm glad I spoke about this. And this was me turning this darkness and starting to pour love into other people, right? And my heart, at the same time, these people could have been taking me for a ride, and they could have been absolute wolves in sheep's clothing. And possibly it was, right? Possibly it was, but I had enough boundaries where it didn't get too involved. So it was merely me meeting them on one occasion, just happened by chance. I'll meet them, speak to them, reason with them, and I'd keep it moving. And I used to encounter different individuals like this on my journeys that I'd done. And I was doing this for over a year. Well over a year and a half, nearly 2 years I was doing this. And I didn't know what I was doing. It's actually just come to me while I was making this video. I didn't plan on talking about that. But that's what I used to do. And I'm not saying for you to go out there and help people and stuff like this. But if some of you are involved in your local community, some of you do things, just take time out to do different things, right? Don't get too involved with them, right? Don't make it a bond and a friendship or a relationship or things like this. And this wasn't me intimately being involved with people either. And there wasn't nothing like that. So just to clear that up, right? It was just merely communicating, speaking, reasoning, stuff like that, right? Learning things, stuff like that. And, naturally that was my inclination. That's what God guided me to do. And I think that I was actually planting seeds then at that time. I was planting seeds, and I've seen those fruits come into fruition later on in life. Those actual seeds that I was planting back then, they took a long time to bloom when I was ready for them to bloom. And this is what it's about. Everything that you poured forth into the narcissist or this toxic individual, you are planting seeds in them, and you will still get the rewards of the good deeds you've done for the narcissist. Remember that. This whole life, right? We're judged upon what we do. And I'm not trying to sound religious or anything like that, but fundamentally, whether you believe in God or you don't believe in God, it doesn't really matter. We know what being a good person comes down to in our heart. It's like inscribed on our heart. We know as empaths, we know, but other people aren't made this way. So literally, the law of reaping and sowing, it's a law. It happens, right? Sowing and reaping, however you say it. Just don't let yourself stagnate, right? And I'm not saying I was out there busy, showboating, doing everything, living the best life ever. At the time, I'm just saying I got involved in things that kept my mind busy, right? And through that, up to this very point, I've now turned that darkness into light. And it took me 6 years to actually share a message. I never thought I'd share a message. But now that darkness they left me with is turning into light, because if you can take one inkling, one aspect, one part, whatever you want to say, one molecule, one whatever of what I say, and you can dissect that information and you can use it in your own life, or it helps you in some way, or it does something, then at least, even if I helped one person out of every one of you listeners, at least that darkness that they left me with has transformed into light. Do you see what I'm saying? Even if I just help one person, okay? And that's the main thing, right? If you're listening to this and you're gaining some knowledge, or you listen to the other channel and it's helped you in some way, remember, I'm only a vessel, but you are the one that has the power in you that's actually able to reciprocate what I'm saying and utilize it and use it in your own life, or strategize it, or, you know, come to an understanding, see it within your own, when you're looking back in retrospect. You know, it's you, the power's in you. Maybe I just helped facilitate that. Maybe it was just a blessing that you heard through me, and blessings work through people. We all help one another. And that's what us as empaths are collectively. So I know I've gone off topic and I've swayed a bit, but I hope you understand the gist of the video and what I was aiming to get across. But just remember, let's all embark on that journey and turn this darkness they left us with into light, because that is our gift as empaths. So anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting, liking, subscribing. I appreciate every single one of you. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can find the details in the description box. And if you would like a one-to-one session, you can find the details in the description box as well. Currently, there's a reason why there's not clickable links in the bottom of these description boxes. But if you head over to my other channel, the same place where you book sessions or donate is found over there. So I know it's a bit long for you, but just to let you know, I will soon have them as clickable links. I'm just running in a little bit of a problem why it's not working at the moment. So anyway, I'll catch you all soon. Peace.